My parents called me at 2 a.m. screaming, "Logan, your brother is in the hospital right now. Send $15,000 immediately, or he'll be in agony all night and stuck with the full bill." I said calmly, "Call your perfect little princess," then hung up, turned off my phone, and went back to sleep. The next morning, a call from the police station changed everything. Let me get straight to it because this story is insane. I'm Logan Hayes, 32, a structural engineer living alone in Denver. I'm the eldest daughter, and for as long as I can remember, my family has treated me like their personal ATM. My parents raised me to believe the oldest has to sacrifice everything for the younger ones, especially for their precious only son. I've paid college tuition, bought cars, cleared credit card debt, you name it. I always caved because that's what big sisters do. But that night at 2 a.m., something in me finally snapped. I refused. And what happened next destroyed my family in ways I never saw coming. If you've ever been the family bank that nobody respects, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. Where are you watching from? Let me know your city. Now, let's get into what really happened. I'm 32 now, living alone in Denver for the past 8 years. And moving here was hands down the best decision I ever made. My younger brother, Tanner Hayes, is 26. My little sister, Skylar Hayes, is 23. Dad, Steve, retired early from the Nevada Highway Patrol with a decent pension. Mom, Nancy, has Alice Bean, a stay-at-home mom. The second Tanner was born. My parents crowned him the undisputed emperor of the house. It's the only son, the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Skylar came along and instantly became the perfect little princess. Sweet, obedient, always rewarded with whatever she batted her eyelashes for. And me, from the moment I could understand words, I was told my job was to carry the family. You're the oldest, Logan. You take care of your brother and sister. That's just how it is. When I was 22, fresh out of college with my engineering degree, I moved back to the house in North Las Vegas for a full year. I worked 3 jobs, day shifts on construction sites, nights, bartending weekends, doing CAD freelancing just so I could cover Tanner's tuition at UNLV, $28,000 in one lump sum wired straight from my savings. A year later, he dropped out because college wasn't his vibe. Mom hugged him and said boys would be boys. Dad took him to a Raiders game to cheer him up. Nobody ever mentioned the money again. 3 years after that, Skylar graduated high school. Mom called me at work, crying happy tears, telling me my baby sister deserved something special. 2 weeks later, I co-signed for a white Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. For an 8-month loan, $480 a month, taken straight out of my paycheck. Skylar sent me a thank you text with heart emojis and then posted pictures of the Jeep on Instagram with the caption, "Big Sis Goals." I still have the screenshot. Last year, Mom woke me up at 3 in the morning, hysterical because the credit cards were maxed out. $9,000 on gaming setups for Tanner and designer clothes for Skylar's content creation. I transferred the money before I even got out of bed. She promised it was the last time. It wasn't. Every time I tried to say no, the script was the same. Mom would cry. Dad would get quiet and disappointed. Tanner would call me selfish. Skylar would ice me out for weeks. The message was crystal clear. If I didn't pay, I wasn't family. I started keeping a spreadsheet just to track it all because at some point I needed to see the numbers in black and white. Tuition, Jeep, credit card bailouts, random cash requests for emergencies. It was over $120,000 total, every cent earned with my own hands. And not once did anyone say thank you, like they meant it. It was expected. It was my duty. It was what big sisters do. I believed that for way too long. By the time I finally moved to Denver at 24, I thought the distance would slow things down. It didn't. The requests just switched to Venmo and Zelle. Faster, cleaner, no conversation required. I still said yes most of the time because the guilt was heavier than the bank balance. Until I started waking up at night wondering if I'd ever be able to buy my own place, start my own life, or if I was just going to bleed money into that house in North Las Vegas forever. That was the moment I realized they didn't see me as their daughter. They saw me as an endless resource, and resources eventually run dry. 2 months ago, Tanner burst into the family group chat announcing he needed a reset weekend in Lake Tahoe with his best friend, Garrett Quinn, the guy whose dad owns half the strip malls in Clark County. He said it was just 4 days, 3 nights, staying at Harrah's, and that mom and dad had already covered the flights and the suite. Before I could even process it, Skylar chimed in that she was tagging along for content. She added a winking emoji and wrote, "Don't worry, big sis. I'm riding with Garrett, 0 cost to Thefamily Fund." I found out the same way everyone else did through Skylar's Instagram story. There she was at McCarran, posing in front of the private terminal with a brand new Louis Vuitton Kel and the caption, "Thank you, Mommy and Daddy." I screenshotted it and sent it to Mom with a single question mark. She replied almost instantly, "We only paid for Tanner, sweetie." Skylar said she's covering herself and Garrett is helping. Translation: they handed Tanner $3,000 in cash and turned a blind eye to whatever else was happening. Tanner texted me privately that same night, "Sis, for once, your wallet gets a break. Parents got me covered 100%. You're off the hook, lol." I typed back, "Okay," and left it unread. That was the extent of our conversation. The 3 of them flew out on a Thursday morning. I was in the middle of a bridge inspection in Boulder when the first wave of stories hit. Tanner posted a selfie on the tarmac with Garrett and Skylar, all 3 wearing matching sunglasses. Caption: "Tahoe takeover starts now." Skylar followed up with a video panning across the inside of a Gulfstream someone had apparently chartered. Garrett's family has money, sure, but not private jet money. I remember thinking, who paid for that? And then pushing the thought away because, honestly, I was tired of caring. By the time they landed in Reno and drove the 45 minutes over the tree dive, I thought mountain to South Lake Tahoe, the feed was nonstop. Check snorts in at Harrah's Key, cards in hand, walking into a 2-bedroom suite with floor-to-ceiling windows looking straight at the lake. Skylar did her usual ring light setup in the bathroom mirror, showing off new outfits, still with the tags on. Tanner filmed himself throwing $100 chips onto a craps table like it was Monopoly money. Garrett kept posting boomerangs of champagne bottles popping on the balcony. I was sitting in my apartment that Thursday night eating takeout pad thai when Mom called just to check in. She sounded giddy. "Your brother is finally relaxing, Logan. He works so hard trying to find himself." I almost choked on a noodle. Tanner hadn't held a steady job longer than 4 months in his life, but okay. She went on about how proud she was that he was experiencing nice things and how Garrett's family was so generous. I muted the call for a second, saw another story from Skylar. One from the rooftop pool at Hard Rock holding a drink that cost more than my weekly grocery budget, and I unmuted. "Sounds fun," I said. Mom promised to send pictures. Friday morning, I woke up to a flood of new posts. They had rented a white Escalade limo for the day. There were videos of them doing shots at a brunch spot in Heavenly Village, then clips from a private yacht cruising Emerald Bay. Skylar's TikTok went viral overnight, some trend where she danced on the bow of the boat while Tanner and Garrett threw cash into the wind for dramatic effect. Comments were blowing up. "This is the life. Living like celebrities. Big sis must be loaded." Stared at that last comment longer than I should have. That same afternoon, Tanner FaceTimed me from the casino floor. He was already tipsy cheeks red, grinning ear to ear. Behind him, slot machines flashed and people cheered. "Look where we are. Low, VIP section, bottle service. The works." He flipped the camera to show Garrett high-fiving a cocktail waitress and Skylar taking selfies with strangers. Parents hooked it up big time. "You should see this sweet sis. It's insane." I asked how much the bottle service was running. Halad. "Don't worry about it. Garrett's dad put everything on his black card. We're good." Then he lowered his voice like he was letting me in on a secret. "Seriously, thank you for always having our backs growing up. This one's on us." The call ended with him blowing me a kissy faces. I sat there staring at my phone, something sour building in my stomach. $3,000 from mom and dad, private jet, limo, yacht, black card bottle service. The math wasn't mathing, but I told myself it wasn't my problem. They were adults. Garrett wanted to flex, that was on him. If mom and dad wanted to spoil Tanner one more time, that was their retirement money, not mine. So I turned off notifications, went to the gym, and tried to pretend I didn't care. By Saturday evening, the posts had escalated again. Private poker. Room, stacks of chips taller than their drinks. Skylar wearing a diamond necklace I'd never seen before. Caption, little gifts from Big Bro's lucky streak. Tanner filming himself sliding a stack of black chips across a blackjack table while the dealer counted them out loud. Garrett screaming, "We own this town" in the background. I refreshed one last time before bed and saw Skylar had posted a mirror. Selfie in the suite bathroom wearing a silk robe that definitely wasn't packed in the Louis Vuitton. The caption read, "When your family believes in you." I locked my phone, set it face down, and told myself whatever happened next was not my responsibility. I had no idea how wrong I was. From the moment they touched down, their social media turned into a full-blown billionaire fantasy reel. Thursday night, they walked into the two-bedroom suite at Hart's like they owned the place. Skylar filmed a slow pan across the marble bathroom, the private balcony, the stocked bar, then cut to the three of them popping a bottle of VV on the couch. Tanner posted a photo of the dinner spread at Lake Tahoe lobster tails the size of my forearm. Wagyu steaks bleeding onto gold-rimmed plates. Truffle fries in silver buckets. Caption, "Living once." Friday kicked off with the white stretch Escalade. Parked out front, we piled in wearing fresh outfits nobody had seen before. Hard Rock Casino became their playground. Tanner filmed himself at a blackjack table sliding $500 chips. Like they were quarters, grinning straight into the camera, while the dealer paid out triple. Skylar kept uploading mirror selfies in the high-limit restroom. New Balenciaga sneakers. New Chanel flat bag. New diamond studs catching the neon. Lake Tahoe was trending in Nevada by noon. That same afternoon, they rented a 50-foot yacht out of Zephyr Cove. Drone shots showed the boat cutting across the emerald water, Garrett shirtless at the helm. Tanner spraying champagne over the bow while Skylar danced on the sunpad in a barely there bikini. One clip got 2 million views in 6 hours. Comments poured in goals-rich best friend energy. Who's bankrolling this? I read every single one. By nightfall, they were deep in the Hard Rock high roller room. Garrett posted a photo of the velvet roped table, 8 bottles of dumper in ice buckets. Sparklers shooting out the top. The three of them surrounded by cocktail servers in sequins. He tagged both my siblings and added the caption, "Family that plays together stays together." My stomach twisted. Mom only gave them $3,000. Everything else on that table costs more than most people make in a month. I kept refreshing like an addict. Another story? Tanner holding a stack of purple $500 chips, kissing them for the camera. Another Skylar trying on a Cartier Love bracelet in the hotel boutique, asking her followers rose gold or yellow. The price tag flashed on screen. $42,000, she added. A poll, 89% voted rose gold. Saturday morning, they were still going. Brunch at the rooftop pool turned into day drinking. A private cabana, towers of seafood, bottomless mimosas. Skylar went live for 20 minutes, showing off the view, panning to Tanner and Garrett, throwing cash into the water for the drone to catch. Someone in the comments asked where the money was coming from. Tanner read it out loud, laughed, and said, "Don't worry about it. We're blessed." I sat at my desk pretending to work while my phone burned a hole in my hand. Snorts every notification. Felt like a slap. I knew my parents' bank account better than they did. $3,000 doesn't buy private yachts and $40,000 bracelets. Garrett came from money, but even his dad drew lines. Something was seriously off. And the more I watched, the more I felt the old familiar dread crawling up my spine. Saturday afternoon. The posts slowed down for a couple of hours. Thought maybe they'd finally crashed. Then the flood started again. It's private poker room this time. Felt table professional dealer stacks so high they needed trays. Tanner filmed himself pushing 50,000 in chips to the center. Calm as anything. Garrett whooped when he won the hand. Skylar sat on Tanner's lap wearing the rose gold Cartier, filming straight down at the mountain of chips. Caption, Big Brothers. On fire tonight. I did the math in my head. The buy-in for that room started at $25,000 per seat. 3 seats plus the yacht, the bottles, the jewelry. We were easily north of $200,000 in less than 48 hours. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom, a selfie of her and Dad at home, smiling at the TV caption. So proud of our kids living their best life. She added a string of heart emojis. I stared at that message until the screen went black. I knew my parents didn't have that kind of money lying around. Their retirement was comfortable, not Kardashian level, which could only mean one thing. Somebody was running up debt they had no way to pay. And every single time that had happened before the phone call always came to me. I muted the group chat, closed every app, and told myself whatever mess they were making this time, I wasn't cleaning it up. I had no idea how fast that promise was about to be tested. At exactly 2:17 a.m. on Saturday, my phone lit up like a fire alarm. Mom's name flashed again and again. I knew the second I saw it that the Lake Tahoe had detonated. I answered on the 5th call, Logan. Oh, God. Logan, Mom was hyperventilating between sobs. Tanner's in the emergency room. They beat him. Security at Hard Rock broke his ribs. He's screaming in pain. Dad ripped the phone from her hand. His voice cracked with pure panic. Your brother lost control at the tables. Casino security took him down hard. 3 cracked ribs, possible punctured lung. He's at Barton Memorial in South Lake Tahoe right now. They're holding his Nevada driver's license because he signed markers for $5,000 he can't cover. The hospital is refusing the good pain meds until someone pays cash up front. He's begging for you, Logan. He's literally begging. Mom grabbed the phone back, wailing. I maxed out every Zelle limit I have. I can't send another cent until morning. Wire it, Venmo it, Apple Pay. Anything, I'll pay you back Monday. I swear on my life. I sat up in the dark, the room completely silent except for their hysteria on the DH. Speaker, Miples was racing, but my voice came out flat and steady. Why can't you two pay dead air? Then Mom broke into fresh sobs. We're completely broke, baby. We gave him everything we had for the trip and more. We thought he was just having fun. You've always been the strong one. I cut her off with 6 words I had never said before. Call your perfect little princess. Then I ended the call, yanked the charger cord out of the wall so hard the plug scraped the paint, powered the phone all the way down and lay back against the pillow. My heart was still hammering, but something inside me had gone perfectly still. No guilt, no second guessing, no tears, just a cold, clean break. I rolled over and slept harder than I had in years. I woke up at 8:32, sunlight pouring across the hardwood. For a moment, I forgot everything. Then I remembered and felt light, lighter than I'd felt since I was a kid. I left the phone dead on the floor. I made French press coffee, took a 40-minute shower, did laundry, watered the plants on my balcony, ate yogurt with granola while reading a book. Normal Saturday things. I didn't plug the phone in until almost 10. The second it booted, chaos exploded. 61 missed calls, 147 text messages. Voicemails stacked 3 screens deep. Mom's texts started pleading and turned vicious within minutes. He's vomiting blood. They're rushing him to surgery. The doctor said another hour without the strong meds and he could go into shock. You're killing your brother. I never thought I'd live to see my daughter become this monster. Dad sent one single message. He's asking why you hate him. Skylar went nuclear. She posted a 30-second TikTok from the ER hallway face store, with mascara voice shaking. My 26-year-old brother is fighting for his life right now, and my own sister is refusing to send $5,000. $5,000? She makes six figures and she's letting him suffer. Please share this. She tagged my full name, my company, my city. The video hit 1 million views in 2 hours. Then came the photos. Tanner, on a gurney shirt, cut open ribs, wrapped face, swollen purple and black, eyes rolling back. A close-up of the casino marker, his signature shaky under a bright red $5,000 balance. A screenshot of Mom's declined Zelle attempts. Another video of Skylar holding his hand while he groaned, captioned, "Big sis won't save him. Strangers flooded my demise. Hope you rot in hell. Karma's coming." Fake feminist. A few people I actually knew texted privately. "Logan, is this real? What's going on?" I scrolled through all of it while eating cereal, feeling absolutely nothing. The casino called first, a blocked Nevada number. I answered, "M. Hayes. This is the credit cage at Hard Rock Lake Tahoe. We have your brother in holding for an outstanding marker. Can we run a card now to release his ID and close the account number? Contact his parents." The woman hesitated. "They've been here. Their cards are maxed." That's not my problem. Click. The hospital billing department rang 10 minutes later. A tired nurse explained. Policy Nevada law allows cash-only demands when no insurance is presented and the patient is stable enough to wait. We've given him the minimum dose, but the anesthesiologist won't take him back without the deposit again. Not my bill. It's not my responsibility. She sighed and hung up. Mom tried FaceTime, declined. Dad tried, declined. Skylar tried from 3 different accounts, all declined. Garrett texted from Tanner's phone. "Your sister is literally the worst human I've ever met." Blocked. Mom sent a final string off voice notes, each more unhinged than the last. I listened to 130 seconds of her screaming that I was tearing the family apart, that God was watching, that I would burn for this. I deleted the rest unheard. I opened my banking app, stared at the balance I had bled for, and felt a wave of calm wash over me. $5,000 wouldn't have bankrupted me. $10,000 wouldn't have. But I was done being the parachute every time they decided to jump off a cliff. I blocked Mom's number for the first time in my life, then Dad's, then every unknown number that had called that morning. I made a second cup of coffee, put on running shoes, and went for a 5-mile jog along the Cherry Creek Trail. The sky was clear, the air cold, my head completely quiet. When I got back, Skylar's GoFundMe was live. Goal, $20,000. To save Tanner from medical neglect. It was already at $9,000. The top donor wrote, "No sister should ever do this." I showered again, ordered Thai food, and worked on a presentation for Monday like nothing had happened. Before bed, I unblocked Mom just long enough to send one message. "I'm safe. I'm fine. Do not contact me again until you're ready to treat me like a daughter, not a credit card." Then I blocked her again and turned off the phone. That night, I slept 12 hours straight. Sunday morning, I woke up naturally at 8:47. Sunlight slicing through the blinds. No alarm, no dread in my chest. I made coffee, opened the balcony door to let the cold Denver air in, and only then plugged my phone back into the charger. It took 12 seconds to finish booting. The first call came at 901 sharp 530 area code. I answered while stirring oatmeal. Logan Hayes, a calm male voice. "This is Officer Ramirez, South Lake Tahoe Police Department. I'm calling about your brother Tanner." I put him on speaker and kept stirring. "Go ahead." Last night at approximately 0140, Hospital security contacted us after Tanner assaulted a floor supervisor at Hard Rock Casino. The officer required 12 stitches above the left eye. During booking, we discovered Mr. S. Hayes used a counterfeit Colorado driver's license to establish a $50,000 credit line. He's currently in custody facing felony assault, felony fraud, and possible identity theft charges. Bail has been set at $8,000 cash only. Barton Memorial is also holding a separate $6,000 surgical deposit before they'll complete the rib repair. I tasted the oatmeal, needed salt. And you're calling me because you're listed as primary emergency contact and COGAR on the casino paperwork? Can you come to the station or wire the funds? I added salt. I'm 800 miles away in Denver. I'm not his guardian, not his spouse, not his cosigner. His legal parents are Steve and Nancy Hayes in North Las Vegas. Direct all communication to them. Officer Ramirez typed something. We've spoken to the parents. They're present but unable. To produce the required amount, Tanner specifically requested we keep trying you. Then Tanner lied to you, not paying a dime. Have a nice day. I hung up, poured the oatmeal into a bowl, and ate on the balcony, watching runners on the trail. Below, the texts hadn't stopped since I'd gone dark. Mom had sent 312 messages overnight. I scrolled slowly. Photos: Tanner handcuffed to a hospital bed, face unrecognizable chest wrapped in blood-stained gauze. More photos. The fake ID with my old address, photoshopped onto it. Voice notes: Mom screaming. They're treating him like an animal. Dad's single text: he's looking at prison, Logan. Real. Prison. Skylar had escalated to nuclear. She was live on both Instagram and TikTok from the police station parking lot. Hair in a messy bun. Fake tears streaming. Update. My brother is now under arrest because my sister still refuses to help. The police won't release him without $14,000. He used a fake ID because he was desperate. This is what happens when family abandons you. She zoomed in on the station sign, then on her own trembling lip. 1.2 million viewers and climbing. The chat was a bloodbath. People were doxing my work email, my LinkedIn, even my apartment complex. Snorts Garrett DM'd me from 3 different accounts. You're actually evil. Hope you can live with yourself. Karma's real. I blocked every single one. The hospital's social worker called next. Soft voice, practiced empathy. Ms. Hayes were required by Nevada. Revised statutes to collect payment before non-life-saving procedures. The orthopedic team can't plate the ribs until the deposit clears. Your parents are in the lobby trying to negotiate, but their credit is frozen. I wiped oatmeal from the counter. I'm sorry they're having a hard day. That's between you and them. She hesitated. Your brother is asking for you by name. He asks for a lot of things. Click. Mom tried FaceTime from inside the police station bathroom. I let it ring out. Dad tried from the lobby. Ring out. Skylar tried from Tanner's hospital phone. Ring out. Then Mom sent the longest voice note I'd ever received. It's 2 minutes and 14 seconds of pure breakdown. I played it on speaker while washing dishes. He used your old address because he said you'd always bailed him out before. The detective told us this could be 5 to 10 years if he's convicted. They have him in an orange jumpsuit. Logan, my baby boy, in an orange jumpsuit. We're sitting in a room that smells like vomit while strangers online send us money because his own sister won't lift a finger. I wish I'd never had daughters. I deleted it, rinsed the bowl, and started a load of laundry. By 110, the casino called back a manager. This time, we can reduce the marker to $3,000 if paid today and sign a promissory note for the rest. Not my marker, not my signature, not my problem. The bail bondsman called 5 minutes later. 10% non-refundable, $800 cash. We can have him out in 2 hours. Called his parents. They're here. 0 collateral. I hung up. Skylar's GoFundMe exploded past $70,000. She posted a tear-streaked selfie holding a cardboard sign. "Thank you, strangers, for loving my brother more than his own sister." The top donation, $5,000, came with a message from one scapegoat child to another. "Get him out." I refreshed my work email. 47 new messages. Subject lines: disgrace. Hope you're proud. We know where you work. My boss had forwarded one with a single question mark. I typed a calm reply. "Family matter, handling it privately, back in office tomorrow." Sent. Mom's final text came at 1:13 p.m. "They're transferring him to El Dorado. It's county jail tonight if bail isn't posted." No more hospital bed, concrete floor. "You win." I stared at it for a full minute, waiting for the old guilt to rise. Nothing came, just quiet. I blocked the number, permanently opened my laptop, and spent the rest of the day finishing the bridge presentation that would probably make me the youngest senior engineer in the firm. At 6:00 p.m., I cooked salmon, streamed a movie, and went to bed with every notification silenced. For the first time in 32 years, nobody on earth expected a single dollar from me. That same Sunday afternoon, my phone rang from an unknown Nevada number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me to answer. Logan, Dad's voice was raw, like he'd been chain smoking since dawn. He was calling from Reno Tahoe International Gate C7, waiting for the last flight back to Vegas. He didn't waste time on greetings. Tanner's been gambling for 3 years straight. He started coughing hard. Not just weekends, every week. Online at first, then driving to every casino within 200 miles. He's into bookies, loan apps, casino credit lines. 92,000 total. We've found out too late. I stood at my kitchen sink rinsing a glass listening. First time he came clean was 18 months ago. Owed. Send your grand. Your mom and I took out a reverse mortgage on the house in North Las Vegas to cover it. Told ourselves it was a one-time thing. He swore he'd stop. Another cough. I could hear airport announcements in the background. 4 months ago, it happened. Again, 55,000 this time. We refinanced again, maxed everything. Bank sent the final foreclosure warning last week. 60 days, and the house is gone if we don't pay at all. We thought one last big win in Tahoe would fix everything. That's why we gave him the $3,000. Instead, he had a system. He paused, breathing heavy. He lost it all in 6 hours. Then he started signing markers with fake IDs. That's how it snowballed into this weekend. I set the glass down. "And you're telling me this? Why?" "Because we're out of moves, Logan. The house, the cars, Mom's jewelry. Everything's gone or pledged. The only asset left, Izu. If you take out a personal loan for $100,000, we can pay the bank. Get Tanner into a real rehab in Arizona. Keep a roof over our heads one final time. He's crying in a jail cell, promising he'll change. He'll sign whatever papers you want." I walked to the balcony, slid the door open, let the cold air hit my face. "So, let me make sure I understand," I said quietly. "You've mortgaged the family home? Twice to cover his gambling debts. You knew he was sick, and you still handed him cash for one last score. And now that it's all collapsed, you want me to borrow 6 figures to save you from consequences you created." Dad's voice cracked. "He's our only son." I stared out at the Denver skyline, the mountains sharp against the blue. "That's the problem, Dad. You've always had only one son and 2 daughters who never counted." Silence stretched so long, I thought. The call dropped. Then he whispered, "Please, Logan, I'm begging you. I'm on my knees in this airport." I closed my eyes. "You taught me my whole life that family comes first. That the oldest I had to carry everyone. You made that rule. I lived by it for 32 years. And the second I stop, I'm the villain." He started crying ugly, choking sobs. "I'm sorry," he rasped. "I know we failed you. I know we put him first every time. But if you don't help, we lose everything. Tanner goes to prison. Your mom and I are homeless at 60. Is that what you want?" I watched a hawk circle high above the city. No, I said that's not what I want. But it's what you built, and I'm done paying for it. Logan, I'm not a bank dad. I'm your daughter, and you lost the right to ask me for anything the day you chose his addiction over my future. Again and again and again. He was openly weeping now. You're really going to let your brother rot in jail. He's 26. He made adult choices. Let him face adult consequences, please. Goodbye, Dad. I ended the call. For a full minute, I stood there, phone still in my hand, waiting for the familiar wave of guilt. The stomach dropped the urge to call, backtrack, and fix everything. It never came. I blocked the number. Then I opened my laptop and did something I should have done years ago. I ran a full credit report on myself and my parents. The reverse mortgages were there in black and white, both in Mom and Dad's names only. Tanner wasn't even on the deed. My name appeared nowhere. Legally, the house wasn't my problem. Never had been. I closed the laptop, poured a glass off wine, though it was only 3 p.m, and sat on the couch. The silence in my apartment felt brand new. No more vibrating phone. No more frantic texts. No more weight on my chest. Just me, my space, my life. I thought about the little girl who used to hide report cards in her backpack because straight A's still weren't as important as Tanner's soccer practice. The teenager who worked 3 jobs so her brother could chase dreams he'd abandoned in a week. The woman who delayed buying a home, starting a family, taking vacations because every extra dollar had to go south on I-15 to keep the golden child afloat. All of it ended with one phone call. I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel revenge. I felt free. That was the last time I ever spoke to my father. The harassment lasted exactly 7 days. Texts from burner numbers, emails from fake addresses. Handwritten letters slipped under my apartment door. Aunt Linda called from Florida, crying that Mom had a nervous breakdown and it was my fault. Cousin Marcus FaceTimed me from Mom's phone, holding the camera so I could see her curled on the couch, clutching one of my old baby photos. Skylar posted daily updates on TikTok day 4 without a home because my sister won't help. The GoFundMe closed at $112,000, every dollar donated by strangers who believed I was the monster. On Wednesday morning, the Clark County Recorder's Office posted the notice. The 2-story house on Coral Shale Street in North Las Vegas was officially foreclosed and padlocked. A neighbor sent me a photo off the yellow eviction sticker on the front door. Mom and Dad had 30 minutes to remove what they could carry. Everything else belonged to the bank. That same afternoon, Tanner appeared before a Nevada district judge via video link from El Dorado County Jail. The prosecutor offered a plea, felony fraud reduced to misdemeanor plus mandatory 90-day inpatient gambling treatment at a state FUND facility outside Reno. He took it. By Friday, he was on a prison bus in wrist restraints headed north. Skylar's brand deals Evo Parada Verneth, Fashion Nova, Pretty Little Thing, and 3 teeth whitening companies all dropped her within 48 hours. Our Reddit threads dissected every sponsored post she'd ever made, calling her the girl who cried wolf for Cartier bracelets. Her follower count dropped by 500,000 in 4 days. She went live one last time from a cheap motel on Boulder Highway Mascara, begging followers not to unsubscribe. The chat filled with laughing emojis. I watched none of it directly. I had already changed my old number ported to a Google Voice graveyard and got a new one that only 8 people on Earth possessed. I blocked every account that had ever belonged to a blood relative, then made my Instagram private and scrubbed every tagged photo. On Sunday night, I signed a lease on a new loft in the Rhino Arts District, 20 minutes across Denver from my old place. The movers came Monday at dawn. By noon, I was gone, no forwarding address left behind. The silence that followed was breathtaking. No more 3 a.m. panic calls. No more Venmo requests disguised as emergencies. No more guilt trips dressed up as love. My inbox stayed empty except for work and actual friends. My phone battery lasted 2 full days. I walked to the new corner coffee shop every morning and ordered the same oat milk latte without anyone asking me to spot them $10 for gas. I hiked alone on weekends and didn't have to explain why I couldn't send plane tickets. I cooked dinner without the background hum of dread that someone was about to lose everything and blame me for not catching them. One evening, I sat on my new balcony watching the sun drop behind the front range and realized I hadn't felt my shoulders tense once in 6 days. I opened a bottle of wine I'd been saving for a celebration that never came, poured a glass, and let myself cry, not from sadness, but from pure dizzy relief. Cutting them off wasn't cruelty. It was oxygen. I finally understood that love doesn't require self-destruction. That boundaries aren't betrayal. That choosing myself wasn't punishment I was inflicting on them. It was the consequence they had earned: one unpaid bill, one excused lie, one mortgaged future at a time. Still check the county inmate search once out of muscle memory more than anything. Tanner's Status Reader State Rehabilitation Program. I closed the tab and never looked again. Skylar's last public post was a blurry photo of a U-Haul truck with the caption, "Starting over with nothing thanks to blood." It got 3,000 likes and then her account went dark. Mom tried one final time. A letter forwarded from my old address postmarked Henderson. Inside was a single Polaroid of me at 6 years old, gap-toothed and smiling in a backyard pool with the words, "We're sorry," scrolled on the white border in her handwriting. I looked at the picture for a long time, then dropped it into the recycling. Ben with the junk mail. I didn't hate them. Hate takes energy. I had simply run out of anything left to give. I turned 33 that fall. I bought myself a cake, invited 3 coworkers who had become real friends, and we ate it on the new balcony, under string lights. Nobody asked me to pay for anything. Nobody cried. Nobody posted about it online looking for pity. It's just laughter, red velvet crumbs, and a sky full of stars that finally felt like they belonged to me. I slept with the windows open and woke up. 2 birds instead of guilt. For the first time in my entire life, the only person I had to carry was my own.